This is a very nostalgic episode, apparently, but I mean, this is just the signs of the time, right? We're getting old. And so here's the deal, people.
People don't call them thongs anymore. Because she's really small, but she's fast.
We have pictures from the day we met.
Yep.
I gave two of them almost black eyes.
Uh-huh. That's what makes Frisbee fun. A ukulele savant.
Because that's not one of my talents.
Love the mixtapes.
Right? You too? There's no judgment, but a little bit of judgment here.
Oh, I was reliving my childhood.
KIKX, Kicks 102.7.
KDWB.
The hits. And 98.9 Magic FM. Anything to say? Any words of wisdom for the audience?
Just corrected that it's ukulele.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a drop mic moment.
Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis Podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Shaen. We're here to talk about the wild ride of raising kids, growing careers, and keeping life together in the middle of all the chaos.
So buckle up, because we're all in this crazy journey together.
Trying to find a better...
Then bop.
Yeah, because sometimes I can't tell when the bop comes out.
Oh, yeah, so T.
So like, I was trying to just find another sound that's very specific to, that. You know, it's just hard to find.
T. P.
Oh, well, welcome.
Welcome. Can you believe we're in May already?
Yes. No, I cannot believe we're in May already. It's flying. I mean, the year's flying. Even the kids are saying that now. So,
Yes.
That's how you know we're getting even older, because as you get older, time goes by faster.
Yeah.
And even our children are being like, saying that the years are flying by.
Yeah. They can't believe that school's almost over.
Yeah.
I can't believe that school's almost over.
Crazy.
It's insane.
We have a freshman graduating from his freshman year.
Yes. I was like, wow, he's Doogie Howser, man.
Doogie, that's a great callback. Nicely done.
Oh, yeah. we should like watch a Doogie Howser. And
oh, I wonder if that's one the kids would like. You always try to find like a series they may like.
Yeah.
If it's anything like anything else in the 80s and 90s, it probably has, cussing, topless women.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was on.
It was on national, like an ABC or CBS. Like it was prime time.
That's right, prime time.
So I don't think it had any.
Things were just different back then, as we've come to figure out and watching movies with the family.
True. Although it was just a 16-year-old who was a doctor or something. I don't even know that he could drive himself to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's a little bit family friendly.
That's true. But no, our Doogie is not graduating from high school, going to college. He's graduating freshman, going to be a sophomore.
Yes.
Which is crazy, though. That was the point.
That's insane. Like, our kids are all the first year at their school this year. So, that always comes with just a whole bunch of logistics in the beginning of the year, figuring it all out and how the new schedule is going to work. But next year, we kind of get to repeat it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody changes schools this year or going into next year, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's more fun for them because two of them are kind of the top of their school, right? Mm-hmm. So they're like 2-year schools. They're the bottom. Now they're the top. They're the big kids on campus.
Yeah.
And not the high school. But it's weird because there are high schools here that are high schools, freshman, sophomore.
Yes.
And then senior high schools, junior, senior, which is it's a new concept to me coming from, what I knew from me growing up.
Yeah. Although yours was weird.
You're in a 4-year high school though, right?
Yes, as most high schools are.
I think most are, yeah. Mine went there, but when I went to my high school, my junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade.
Yeah.
Which was weird. So like freshman sports, we actually did walk across the street to where the high school was, and we would play the high school sports as freshmen. But we were Holmes Hawks, not Coronado Cougars. So It was just weird. And so when I was a sophomore...
You were really a freshman.
I was really a freshman.
So you're the opposite of Doogie Howser.
I was the opposite, and I always have been.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. I said that for comic relief.
Yeah, that was great. No, it was good. Then the next year, though, they went to a 4-year at that high school.
Seriously? So you were like the freshman twice almost.
No, not really, because then I was a junior. But the incoming sophomores, who would have been the bottom, ended up not being the bottom because they ended up coming in with a freshman class.
Got it. So they never
got to be on the bottom. Yeah, that would be the class of 96.
Oh.
We're out of high school. A bunch of softies.
Yeah.
They never had it as hard as most of us did.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of having it hard, if I'm a little out of breath right now, we're squeezing this one in. It's over a lunch period.
I know.
Lunch period. We blocked off our calendars at lunchtime to get this done because we're way behind this week.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But so we have a little bit of time to squeeze this in.
So we're
It
squeezing
worked.
this in. Yeah.
This weekend, while it shouldn't have been super busy. It felt like it was.
Yeah. No, they always feel busy.
Yeah. Anyway, but you have had a very busy.
Well, just my morning.
Your morning's
right?
been insane.
We got all this rain. So here's the deal, people. We've talked about it a little bit before, and we built this house 3 years ago. We started, and we lived in it for maybe a year and a half now. Maybe it's been 3.5-year process.
Yeah.
4. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Long story short, I mean, everybody knows there's just struggles and new houses, things get to know them and whatnot. But one of the things we've really struggled with at this house is getting it to be waterproof.
Yeah.
So there's been a couple times the roofers had to come back, and we can hear stuff in the walls, ding, ding, ding. Literally 3 or 4 I can think of just off the top of my head. A couple of them I fixed. A couple of the roofers had to come fix.
Oh yeah.
One of the issues, and I understand this is first world problems here, but we've got a spa off of our master. We have a master courtyard off our master bathroom.
Yeah.
And there's a spa that was supposed to be in ground, so like you kind of walk out to it
Yeah.
and step down into it. So it was level with the actual patio.
Yeah.
So, kind of contemporary. Well, the first rain, we come to find out that the drainage system for that spa, which is outside, it's sitting in a concrete bathtub, basically. It's sitting down in there, and then there's decking around it. So it was flat with the decking. Well, that too, the drainage tube ran to nothing.
Right.
It literally ran into clay ground. So the first big rain, it flooded the entire hot tub. I mean, brand new,
Brand new.
So we fixed that one. I actually put in a sump pump, worked well,
It was
flooded again.
Engineering genius.
Yeah.
It really was.
I appreciate you're always quick to give me compliments. I really appreciate that. You go too far, but thank you. So I put that in. I had a pump failure. This has been learning, give and take, give and take, and give and take. Every time I'm learning. One time we had to pay a guy to replace the pumps in the hot tub. We did that like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, it was like more than once.
$250 a pop, and it was like $700 every time they came. So it was getting expensive. So I was trying to figure it out myself. I've now figured out how to take the pumps out, drain them of water, clean them out. Well, every time I think I have it, man, something goes wrong again. And again, this morning, I've got water sensors down there now, so my phone goes off if water gets to 2 inches. And then there's another one if it gets to 6 inches, which is right below the bottom of the hot tub, because we had the hot tub raised like 10 inches in there. So now we can at least have 10 inches of rain before it floods.
Yep.
I gave into that, so it's not level anymore.
Right.
Well, I mean, the thing is just, I cannot get it right. And with all this rain, it's just flooding our backyard. And that was one of the things, drainage. Nobody would step up. And I'm talking a lot here, so maybe this is I'm peeved segment right up front.
Peeved. Yeah.
But this is good for people to know that are building a house.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's going to build their house, in the next couple of years. So you need to know this.
Yes.
Somebody needs to step up to the plate on the building team and take responsibility and, unfortunately, I understand the liability for handling the drainage of your house.
Yes.
Now, we have a large lot. It's 2 acres. It's on a little bit of an incline. It's got quite an incline, actually. Yeah. But there's a couple spots it definitely collects rain at.
Oh, yeah.
And because of how our house had to be dug in to make sure it wasn't sitting way up here and whole kinds of things, it doesn't drain that well. And nobody wanted to take that liability on. And now it's up to me. I'm watching it. So I'm out there literally running, trying to get to this taping.
Yeah.
I'm out there because it happened so quickly. I'm in sandals, like flip-flops, right?
I couldn't see that part.
Yeah. What are those things called? Like thongs? What do people call those?
Flip-flops.
Yeah, they're just flip-flops.
Yeah. People don't call them thongs anymore. That has a totally different meaning nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I figured, it's that song, the thong song, because everybody goes to vacation where there's thongs out there because you can take them off when you get into the sand, and your feet get hot, and you put the thongs back on.
Is that what that song's about?
Pretty sure. You should check it out. Anyways.
Still never heard it.
You know Cisco's thong song. Thong, to thong, thong. Okay, I'm getting way long on this, but I've been outside digging in our dirt, in our grass,
In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain, yeah.
I mean, we had what, 10 inches in like 30 minutes?
Well, 10 would be a lot.
It was ridiculous.
But it was over. The rain gauge showed 3.5.
Okay, 3.5 in 30 minutes?
In like 30 minutes, yeah. So, anyways, make sure somebody takes care of the drainage. It's something I'm going to be dealing with for a while at the house.
Yeah, it takes a while. Well, we always said, we're like, well, you kind of got to live there to see where the water flows, and it was just like,
Well, that was it. We had people come out and look at it, and they're like, oh, yeah, $125,000, we'll do this. I'm going to have a pump system and this pulley system. We're going to put huge. I was like, why don't we just see where the water goes, and then we'll put the $2 billion drainage tube system in.
yeah,
Right? So we do have some in the ground where we kind of knew it was.
yeah,
It was not done correct because, I mean, you got high points, you got high spots, low spots. Like, unfortunately, water only runs downhill.
Is that how that works?
I'm pretty sure it is. You can call it Doogie. See, I'm sure he knows.
Doogie would totally know.
Doogie, yes. Or his buddy. I can't remember his name now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to
Miguel?
I don't know. I have to Google it. I'm not close enough to be like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Anywho, that's so that was some of the fun this morning. I'm sure a lot of people were involved in the Dallas area, at least, in that rain that we got today.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then directly so that was up until, like 5 minutes before taping.
Yeah.
And so before I came back here, I was like, oh, just take the puppy out. Like, being left alone. Who knows what she's going to do in the house? Take her out. There's a massive white peacock that I was chasing around.
I saw you.
An idiot, like on a newly reconstructed knee, holding her little 8-pound puppy. And I was at one point carrying the wool brush
I saw
to
it.
try to scare it because all it was doing was like running in a circle. So I was like, I'm smarter than this thing. I tried to cut it off, and then it just ran the other way.
Around the pool and
Around the pool and whatever. And the dog's going crazy in my arms. She is a small game hunting dog, but I mean, let's be honest, the peacock outweighs her by 20. I mean, peacocks are big, people. They're big. They're big birds.
They are. Carnivores, I hear too, so I'm glad you're getting it off.
Yeah. Anyway, and I also didn't want her running through the muddy yard because, again, the drainage issues. We have like.
She got swept away in those torrents.
Yes. Well, I mean, she was running through them, and
she could have got stuck in one of the tubes. What was that baby's name? Remember that baby that got?
Baby Jessica.
Baby Jessica.
Who was stuck in the well?
Stuck in the well.
I remember watching that.
Yeah.
That was like terrifying. I've kind of been scared of wells ever since then.
Yeah, I saw some update on her like 10 years ago where she's like, just a housewife now.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
or a regular person. I don't know if she's a housewife, but she's
like 40-some years
an
old.
Adult, has kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was insane.
Anyways, Paris could have been the new baby.
She could have been the new baby Jessica.
Yeah.
Hopefully we would have gotten her out safely. Anyway, all she chased it. She's very fast. She may be small, but she's fast. And she was running through water. Anyway, she chased it. It ended up on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So then you tried to get it off the roof.
So by this time, I actually came back outside because I was laughing. And I was laughing watching you the first time, only for like a second or two. And then I had that, I hate this age because I'm like, gosh, I wish I had my phone. I should be taping this. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember when, and this is a very nostalgic episode apparently, but I mean, this is just the signs of the time, right? Mm-hmm. We're getting old. But there was a time, obviously, when we used film and we went to Walgreens and dropped it off. And like, you had to be really, I mean, I remember, I didn't have money growing up. And I remember being like, well, I only have 21 pictures on this film or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? So I got to be really careful about what I take a picture of.
Yeah.
I can't waste film.
Can't waste film.
Right? Because it's a commodity. There's only so much of it. So anyways, nowadays, you can just take pictures of anything and like you forget to just enjoy the moment because you're like, God, I got to get this on tape because I'll never watch it ever again. I mean, our kids actually do watch it.
They watch it a lot. They love it.
So the way that our kids watch it, I don't know if everybody else's kids are like this, but we use Apple TV.
Uh-huh.
And Apple TV, if you set it to your, Apple ID and all that kind of stuff, your picture library, because they're all on my phone. My library is the one signed up for it. So any picture or video I take is on the library. So they, all the time, they'll go through just pictures and watch them. They'll go through old ones.
Yeah.
So they do get to see those pictures. It's a different way of living, honestly. Like they're growing up differently.
Yeah.
They
like to watch the videos of them, whether it's Easter egg hunts, which wouldn't have thought those would be super interesting, but like it's super cute looking back on it, and they're just like, you know, you hear those little voices that are no longer little voices anymore. Like,
oh my gosh.
I found the golden egg, you know.
Well, that's what, I mean, you think about, that's what people used to take pictures for. You'd put them in a picture album, right?
Yes.
You'd pick the best ones, you'd put them in a picture album, and, you know, you turn the pages. I mean, we have picture albums in this house
Of course we do.
because we're of that age.
When we met, they didn't have an iPhone. So
That's right. Well,
we truly have paper picture, you know, like pictures of
us, yeah.
us.
We don't actually have a digital picture of us when we first met. We have a picture, and this is cool. I don't think we've talked about this before, but we have pictures from the day we met.
Yes.
Multiple pictures from the day we met. Like almost a timeline.
Yes.
From the boat
Yep.
that we were on together. We have your camera separately from my camera.
Yep.
Pictures on that boat. We were parasailing.
Yep.
Yep. And then I got the courage up. We went out that night. I asked you to hang out with the group that night. And so we have pictures of us out on the town.
Yep.
Where did we go? Senior Frogs, right?
Frogs.
I think it was Senior Frogs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. We have those pictures of us.
Yeah.
I mean, literally within hours of meeting each other.
Right. Right. We have pictures of us dancing and like, yeah, it's super
Smiling,
cool.
laughing with each other.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
But we put those, they're now in a picture book.
Yeah.
A photo book.
Mhm.
We're not going to do that anymore. So my whole point to this, I'm getting so long-winded today. I'm like on speed, but I feel like we got to get to your 1 o'clock, which is coming up. The point to this is we don't take pictures anymore for photo books. Photo books were easy to look through because you would have a whole year in like 100 pictures at the most, you know, 60, 30 pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, I mean, my phone has like 16,000 pictures on it. I bet there's people watching that have 30,000 on their phone. Like, when are we going to have time to ever go back and look at those? It's not like we're going to make picture books.
I don't know.
We're going to shutterfly all this.
Yeah, and I'm terrible about like, ooh, that was a bad picture. I should delete it. You know, like, I have I'll take a series of like 4 pictures, and 2 of which are good, 2 of which are bad, and it's the exact same thing. But it's like it's a luxury to just click, you know, the button.
So here's an update, everybody, too. Meghan has taken feedback and applied it incredibly well. I think on this show, I complained about the fact that I always take the pictures. Like, I don't exist in any pictures because I'm taking all the pictures. Unless it's a family selfie, I don't exist. I was never around. There's no photo evidence of a father in this household. Up until a month or 2 ago, when you actually, I think you planted that seed, and now you actually think about taking pictures of doing things. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We have a lot of pictures. We've had so many family things lately.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's been a lot of opportunity to take pictures.
Yeah.
Like the cornhole game in the backyard this weekend, and I guess that's what we were doing instead of doing Mr. and Mrs. Inglis. We were playing cornhole.
Yeah. Played cornhole with the kids.
Yeah.
Played some frisbee with the kids.
We
I
did.
gave 2 of them almost black eyes.
That is fair. Yes, you did. Our poor daughter. It's like this cut.
She's got like a second eyebrow on the side of her eyebrow. It's all red. It was
bruised.
To be fair, it was one of those, she can normally catch it, and I gave our oldest one as well.
Yeah.
But it was a little windy that day, and everybody knows that when you throw a frisbee, every now and again, it'll get that waft of air under it or some air pressure pushing down on it, and it'll just, out of nowhere, just kind of move up 6 inches or move down a foot, something like that.
That's what makes frisbee fun.
Oh, until you get hit in the face. It was like within like 20 seconds, both of them just got bop, bop, you know, with a frisbee from Dad.
Well, good for you. I did not get those videos on camera.
Those have been great to get.
Like, I did not have you pelting our kids.
You know, it was fun. We talk about, too, on this, like just trying to enjoy those moments. And that was one where I remember thinking, there's so much to get done. I was behind on getting stuff outside.
Yep.
I'm behind on getting the lawn mowed. I'm behind on some of these spring cleanup things. And that was a day that I literally was just like, I'm going to just put that out of my head and enjoy some time with the kids.
Yep. And it was fun.
It was a ton of fun. I love spending time. I love spending time with them. You know, if we could afford to have people do everything for us in our lives, it would be great. But unfortunately, we have to do dishes and laundry and mow and
drainage. Create complex drainage systems in our property.
That's right. Design, engineer, and execute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is your expertise. Design, engineer, and execute. I would say, like, those are 3 words I would use to describe you.
Yeah. Missed my calling on some things.
Yeah. Well,
Just wasted on finance.
worked out okay, I think.
Should have been a ditch digger. Really good at designing, digging, and
That pickaxe feels so good in my hands.
That's right. So, yeah, so that was fun. We had a weekend that was a little bit more open because of that.
Yeah, and the weather was so nice.
Yeah.
And of course, we've paid for it because the last 2 days it's just been constant rain.
Yeah, but everybody's ready. I mean, we're getting these April showers out of the way, which destroy and flood our spa, which we've talked about. And once that's done, now we gotta take the time to go out and get some. We gotta get some flowers and some plants and the annuals that we gotta plant.
Yeah, it's all the regular stuff though. And one more thing added to the to-do list. So in addition to all the year-end celebrations, planting spring flowers, you know what we were invited to?
Super proud of this. Super proud of this. I mean, like, we should build this up just a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
just when you think you can't be more proud of your children, right?
Yeah. I mean,
they're getting 105s on their Spanish tests. They're in, 2 grades of, up honors math.
yep.
Just, they're all playing at the highest level of their sports. But just when you think you can't be more proud, they're all kind, they're all thoughtful. You got to put that in there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just when
But
you
just-
think.
Just when you think they couldn't get any more excellent, they have proven in their music class to be a ukulele savant.
Ukulele savant is what she said. That's exactly what she
That's
said.
what I said.
In case you thought she said something else.
Or I think I've been corrected that it's ukulele.
I was
Again.
gonna correct you, but I just didn't want to be that guy.
Again, I was corrected by the savant, who has been,
It's our youngest.
it's our youngest, who was asked to, or actually qualified to be in the golden ukulele competition.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that sink in.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a drop mic moment in our family's lives.
It was, almost so much so that I would report it as spam in my work email folder because I was like, what in the world is this? And then I realized it was from the music teacher and it was real.
Yeah, I mean, when you told me we were having that discussion laughing, but like, the what? The who?
Yeah.
The when? Like, what?
Yeah, that kid's playing the what? I didn't even know.
I hadn't even heard of it. I didn't even know it was a thing. Doesn't have one at the house.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that he was super musical. We've kind of figured out the oldest, our oldest son is musical, right? He can pick up things on the piano,
Got great pitch.
great pitch.
He likes to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Youngest, I always kind of thought was more artistic from a drawing. He's good at drawing.
Yeah.
We found his musical calling.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Well, we'll see. I mean, he's practicing now. I got a little more information on it. It's a group. They had to pick a group. So he's got 3 people in his group now.
Okay.
They all have to simultaneously play, get this, bye, bye, bye. They have to play it in sync, bye, 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 in sync.
Are they going to dance when they do it?
They're going to do the Deadpool dance. Is that what it is?
I think so.
That's what everybody knows it as, the Deadpool dance.
Well, I mean, what other song screams ukulele? And yes, I said it that way. Bye, bye, bye.
I mean, if I was going to play a ukulele song, I would narrow it down to probably, the Thongs song, which we've already hit on, is a great one you could do it with.
Actually, I think you could.
Yeah, think about those strings.
Pun intended.
Pun totally intended. Secondarily, Instinct's bye, bye, bye.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's got to be.
So, quick side note here. Have you ever been to an NSYNC concert?
No, have you?
I have. I have been.
I'm a little jealous.
I took my youngest sister as an excuse to go see NSYNC. They played at Mile High. I can't remember if it was still Mile High at that point or not, but it was in, But yeah, back in the day when they were at their height.
Yeah.
I think there were 80,000 people, I think, there and whatnot. But I bring that up because I liked NSYNC. I still like NSYNC.
I
like
still
the
like
Backstreet
NSYNC.
Boys. But again, this is one of those things. Maybe it was my friend group or who I hung out with, but I took a lot of flack for, again, having a fairly,
Diverse music collection?
yeah, that's
Question
right.
mark?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I like Celine. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been open about the fact that I enjoy the Spice Girls, even though I know they're not, quality per se. But they spoke to me at some point in time. In fact, I think I had a girlfriend at the time that hated the fact that I liked the Spice Girls. I think she thought I had a crush on them or something. And I was like that in junior high when my junior high girlfriend watched Patrick Swayze and Tom Cruise, I think, and Melrose Place. I remember just being like, I am so jealous that you probably think these guys are good looking. But I grew out of that, right? As you mature out of that. No, but I had an older girlfriend that was jealous of the fact that I liked the Spice Girls. Long story short, I took slack for some of the musical groups that I enjoyed, but I do remember NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye, and I'm going to bring it back around.
Yeah.
They played that song specifically for me, and by they I mean one of my good friends at his wedding. And they pulled me out. I mean, they called me onto the dance floor, and everybody now it's the Deadpool dance. But back then it was the NSYNC Bye 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 dance.
Performed by Shaen Inglis.
Performed by me at a very low level, because that's not one of my talents.
I wish.
Either, I should say.
I wish I had known you back then. I would have loved to see this.
Oh, so out of character. I was still so introverted and scared of everything back then. I mean, I was probably just sweat, just profusely. Just died inside, but
yeah,
I tried to own it as much as I could.
You have to.
And now I own it fully, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's hard not to dance to that song.
Yeah.
There's lots of things on YouTube, like try not to laugh or try not to sing or whatever. Like, that's one where it's hard not to sing to it, or everyone knows that.
I mean, we just kind of grew up and it was pop, I mean, I like rap, we grew up with rap,
I fully appreciate your diverse music taste. Now, we do diverge on Spice Girls. I find them, and I don't like their music. That's the only thing. It's not that I care about like the people. I'm sure all of the girls of the Spice Girls are great people. It's just their music never really spoke to me, so that's one that I'm like, okay. I usually skip it when it comes on our playlist. Sorry.
Well, and I'm glad you said that, but I just wanted to make sure that people knew that I wasn't like they're not my go-to these days. I just don't mind them.
Yeah.
They're in our music catalog.
Yeah. And even you'll skip some of like the more.
Yeah. We don't have, I guess we have all their albums, but we have so many songs, they don't come on that often.
And by it's, I have them just via marriage, and you had them, and so I inherited the library when I.
Wait. Didn't you have the Spice Girls poster?
No.
How did we have, where do we get that Spice Girls poster?
Your Spice Girls poster.
No, I never had a Spice Girls poster.
I've never had a Spice Girls poster. Now, New Kids on the Block, obviously, I'm going to own that.
Right.
Completely. But no, did the kids get that at some book fair or something?
I don't know. I think maybe our daughter brought that home or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because they're way past. Anyway, and that's an older poster. Who knows? We do have a Spice Girls poster. It is not up in the house. We just have a Spice Girls poster in the house somewhere.
That reminded me, I got a whole bunch of Spice Girls stuff for like Christmas one year as gag gifts from the same friend that made me go out and sing NSYNC. They all gave me some gag gifts for Spice Girls stuff. I don't remember what they were anymore, but that same ex-girlfriend, she threw it all away because she was so mad about it. So hopefully I'm sure she doesn't listen to this kind of stuff. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. She also threw away, this is the same girlfriend that threw away, everybody keeps like keepsake boxes.
Yeah.
So I had like pictures of like prom and my high school girlfriends or my junior high girlfriends, all that kind of stuff. Like, just letters from them or cards from them. Mm-hmm. Trashed all of it. I had a box of all those keepsakes, like the glass that had my prom inscription in it, the champagne glass. These are just nostalgic keepsakes.
For you, that she had no right to do that. That is...
Yeah. One of the things I'm so mad about is I had a whole thing of tapes. Like, I don't know if anybody had it, but I had a tape thing that you could put like 4 tapes across, and it was like 4x4, 16. And then you rolled it and it had Velcro, so it was kind of like a baton at the end of the day if you rolled it all up. But those are all filled with like tapes, like cassette tapes that were like that people would make for you, or that I made for other people. The mixtapes. Thanks, I couldn't think of that.
love the mixtapes.
Right? All the mixtapes, even the mixtapes that I just made, literally back in the day when you listened to the radio
Yep.
and you knew your favorite song was going to come on and you're hitting record and play at the same time.
Yep.
So you could get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
you
those
might miss the
songs.
first note or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All those were thrown away in there too. So mad.
That actually irritates me because those are pieces of your past. I met you, we were mid to late 20s. You were late 20s. I was mid 20s.
Mhm.
And yes, I will remind everyone of that. They'd be like, I was mid. I was like, no, you're late. Anyway, but because those are keepsakes from a time when I didn't know you, I would have liked to enjoy those.
Yeah.
Because it's a piece of your past.
Yeah.
It would have been really nice even for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the most selfish, crazy thing. I'm
I know.
sorry.
I know.
I am super judgmental on that. Like, that's just, you're giving all girlfriends a bad name.
Yeah, a lot of baggage there that I've let go of in the years. But the fact that she threw that away really does still irk me
Yeah.
today, because not that I needed all the stuff in it, but there were some things in it that would have just been,
Like, I'd love to see a picture of you from prom.
yeah. I have my junior high girlfriend who have you ever met her?
Nope.
You know of her though.
Mm-hmm.
I told her the same thing, that box was thrown away, and it made her mad too.
Yeah.
And she's just a friend.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Even then, it's like part of, my history,
Sure.
our past,
of course.
and she's mad that got thrown away too, even though it really has no value today, but it's just a piece of history. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean,
Anyways,
yeah, it's just, I don't mess up someone else's, nostalgia and whatever.
we have to write that with our children and with your children, people.
Yes.
Raise them right.
Right.
I mean, they got so many more things to worry about today. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. If only it's
If that was
just
the worst
throwing
of
away.
it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
If it was only just throwing away prom pictures or
yeah,
oh well, we'll get through that, I guess.
you will. You will.
But I mean, we're coming up on a busy time. I think this is a busy time for anyone who is a parent because you have graduations, you have all the end of the year festivities, you're fixing in or trying to fit in field days and parties, and it's just
Yep.
a busy time.
It was funny. I was talking to my mom last night, and hey, Mom, she's probably listening to this on her way to Colorado. So drive safely. Pay attention to the road. But she was telling me, like, I just love the time of life that you guys are in right now. It's just so much fun. It's the best time. And before you know it, my kids have graduated and stuff. So, and it is one of those sobering reminders that, again, you just have to slow down
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy the time, because it just goes.
Yeah.
It just goes, because like we just said, our oldest is already in
Yeah.
high school.
We'll bring it all the way back around to just how fast time is going.
Yeah.
And as busy as it is,
Yeah.
like, you can't blink for a moment.
Mm-mm.
You can't blink. Because I look at the 15-year-old and I'm like, he's a man,
Yeah. Yep.
He looks like a young man. And it's so far from that itty bitty baby. I actually asked our daughter this morning before the bus came, I was like, do you remember when you would just climb up, when you were little enough to climb up on our lap, or that we would carry you? And she's like, no, not really.
Really?
Yeah, because puppy was sitting on my lap or whatever, and I was like, this is something that'll always climb up on my lap.
Yeah.
And I was like, how quickly that went, and so many of memories we have with our kids on our lap or holding the kids or whatever. I mean, and they're like, yeah, I don't even remember that.
Yeah. It's just flashes for me. My earliest memories are just picture flashes. Do you still see film kind of in your earliest memories, or are they pictures?
In my very earliest, I mean, it's pictures. The first video I have in my head was living in Montana, and we had a wheat field.
How old were you?
3.
Okay. Well, that's really early.
And there was a wheat field behind us, and I remember very distinctly being out playing in the wheat field at sunset. And I could still feel, if you go the wrong way, like if you're just touching the wheat, if you kind of bring your fingers up, it's very smooth, but yet if you take your fingers down on the reed,
Yeah.
it's actually prickly. And I remember
You too?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I just remember that feeling and the wind and the sunset and feeling the wheat.
Yeah. That's what was so neat about being a kid. And that's what I just hope our kids get to. As you get older, the world you get to know the world, right? When you're younger, the world is still magical. It's still discovering new things every day, new smells, new sights, new emotions. Everything's just new and fresh.
Yeah.
And as you get older, I think that's the hardest thing for me as you get older. It's like you don't really get to experience those things anymore.
Yeah.
And as much as you can find ways to like kind of bring that back, it's really hard. That's what that's, I don't know if it's the weight of the world or just that you're getting older. It's not as fresh anymore, but I always hope that that's what our kids have, like just, I remember being young and just certain smells were just so powerful and so nice. Growing up in Colorado, it was like the pine trees.
Yeah.
Things like that just bring back so many memories. But
Yeah.
I hope kids these days have that because they're just inundated with everything else but like enjoying nature. I mean, I remember having picnics. I remember sitting out, putting a blanket on the grass and thinking about like, oh, it's laying on the grass, but the grass crushes under it. Like when I was a kid, like 3 years old. Do
You were
they?
going to say 3 years ago. I was like, really?
3 years ago, it was amazing physics. But is the world so innocent and fresh to kids? And maybe it is till they figure out that they can just stare at a phone. Because I see kids on phones and no judgment, but a little bit of judgment here. Like these people have their kids on an iPad or a phone at like 3 years old. And they're just staring at it.
Yeah.
And we made a conscious effort not to be that parent and not trying to be judgmental there, really not. Sometimes that's your only choice. And not that we never did that either.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't our go-to.
Yeah. Airplane rides were like, iPad, I don't care.
Yeah. Beats, iPads, there you go.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah. Although we never really had any blow-ups on an airplane, so I guess it worked.
Yeah, right. But there's just so much to take that
Yeah.
innocence away, which we're finding out, like we said, in the last couple of weeks. But, and they're still so young for that. I mean, even, I just remember, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, just so much was new then, just new emotions, crushes and, fashion and music. That's why music is so big to me, because, I just remember being alone in my room, and you and I have talked about this. You played in your room too, and we just listened to the radio.
Yeah.
And those songs, that's why they just take us back. But that's all we had. Now you can pick what song you want to listen to much more easily.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you still get that variety.
Yeah.
Will it be that nostalgic for them? Now, I know we're teaching our kids the oldies, our oldies,
and they love it.
Yeah. But
I think we are, because there was just a couple weeks ago, our youngest was, and I know we're getting long here, so I'll wrap it up. He was up in his bathroom, and he was playing the music that was probably at least at this point is 5 to 7 years old, right? And we could just hear this pounding and this singing at the top of his lungs. I mean, clear as day, we were downstairs and we could hear him singing. And he comes down and I was like, "Were you having fun up there, buddy?" And he's like, "Oh, I was reliving my childhood."
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old. Because he was playing songs that he listened to,
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was 4 or 5. It had to only been about 5 years ago, maybe, if I actually do the math. But
Yeah. I didn't do that much at his age because it was just the radio.
it was the radio.
Maybe some of my favorite songs that I had started taping at that point in time. But I love that they all have music in there. They all have like an Alexa or something like that in there. And they all just listen to it. Every one of them at shower time is just blaring music. You can just hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
But I love it. I did that. I had some waterproof radio that was black block. It looked like a cassette, like a VHS cassette tape.
Right.
That stuck to the wall in the shower, and you could just barely get the radio station on it. It was so terrible music quality.
Sure.
But I loved it, man. I would jam in there.
Yeah. That's what you do.
Yep.
I just,
KIKX, Kicks 102.7.
Oh.
I know you know yours.
KDWB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even know if they still have
The
those.
hits.
101.3 KDWB.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. In 98.9 Magic FM. I think that one's actually still there.
That was Magic FM. Wasn't that in Vegas?
No, 98.9 Magic FM may have been in Vegas, but it was for sure in Colorado Springs. I think it's still there.
Okay.
So the big ones when I was there were 99.9. I don't remember what that one was anymore. Dang it. Then 98.9 Magic FM, then 102.7 Kicks. That was the really good hits one that I listened to when I was younger.
Yeah.
But Magic was more like hip hop.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like that 90s
Yes.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 102.7 was like Def Leppard, whereas the other one would be like R. Kelly
Got it.
or Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Boyz II Men probably a little more appropriate than R. Kelly
yeah, nowadays.
nowadays. Well, we didn't know then.
No, he didn't see anything wrong with you know what. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
All right. Well, what do we got coming up? We should close this out.
Super busy weekend. We're kicking off track season. We're closing out soccer season. We have parties. I don't even know how we're going to do this weekend.
Awards, ceremonies,
Yeah.
parties. You're driving at least.
I'm driving.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We will get
Right.
there.
We will. We will. So, are we going to close it out with our word?
Yes, we'll close it out with our word. All right. Let me think about what mine's going to be. Okay, so everybody's got yours. Last week, remember, we said the same one, so no pressure.
We'll see. I expectations are low. I mean, like, you can only go down from there,
Yeah, I know. Unless
So.
we do it twice in a row here. should be
and
great.
then we should play the lottery.
But this time, I am going to say it the exact same time, just in case.
Just in case.
So it's not like I'm like, it's like that one Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
You know, where they're singing and one of them's just totally trying to follow.
Yeah. Follow what the other one is saying. Mhm.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Endurance.
Perseverance. It's close.
Close.
Those are synonymous. So on the similarity scale, very close.
Oh, I would say, what would you say from similarity?
9.
I would say 9 too.
Endurance
Yeah.
and perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah, so we're just getting through it.
We're just getting through it. Like,
Yeah.
it's been a long race.
Keep your head down.
Yep. Feel
Yeah.
like
Push through.
push through. And I feel like, the end is getting a little closer. Like, it kind of lightens up in the summer, maybe.
Yeah. Vacation's getting closer.
Yeah.
Pool time.
Yeah.
Malibu rum time.
Yeah. That's the drink we should have had this weekend.
I thought about it. but-
Yeah. We have
Anyways.
pineapple juice. Anyway, okay.
All right. Well, anything to say? Any words of wisdom for the audience?
Just,
That was a lot of pressure.
it was a lot of pressure. Just, I don't know. Persevere.
Yeah.
You got this.
Endurance.
Endurance. I used yours. you used-
That's how we did it. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you here next week, hopefully. All right. Have a great week. See ya.